Hello. All right. Hello, everybody. If you can hear me, raise your hands in the air. If you can hear me, raise your hands in the air like you don't care. But we do care. We do. Okay, if you can hear me, keep your hands up. Just that way the people that can't hear me are like, what's going on? All right. Okay. Welcome, everyone. I am Exa.
And I'm Brianna.
We're going to share a mic so we don't have too much in our hand. And should we say it at once? Welcome to New York is Creative.
Welcome to New York is Creative.
2025. Thank you. We are so awesome. We are so glad to have y'all here. Yeah. It's really special. We're going to do two mics.
Let's do two mics.
We're going to do two mics.
We're rocking and rolling here.
We're rocking and rolling.
So first and foremost, we just want to say, we want to take a moment to look around you. How beautiful is this space? Yes. Newlab was built out of an old Navy shipyard in Brooklyn and reimagined as a place where engineers and builders could come together to create the technologies that will shape our future.
They offer labs, prototyping tools, and test beds. They run pilots with industry and government partners. I mean, even if you just walk through the space, you can see how incredible. I see all these little test tubes and weird printers and sewing things. It's incredible. It's an incredible space. We're so lucky to be here. Just super grateful. So can we get a quick round of applause for Newlab? There's going to be a lot of clapping today, so you're practicing. Oh, that was the wrong button. Oh, no, that wasn't.
This is it. So we want to take a moment to acknowledge that Newlab is located on the ancestral lands of the Lenape people. And as we ground ourselves in this space together, we welcome you and invite you to take a moment to just breathe with us. And as we take these breaths together, to honor the land and the Lenape people, past and present, who have so honorably stewarded it and whose enduring presence and legacy we uplift today. So if it's accessible to you all, we just ask that you either lower your gaze or close your eyes and take 3 belly breaths to ground yourself on this land. Deep belly breaths.
Thank you. Who in the audience has been to a Creative Mornings event before? Can you raise your hand? Amazing. Wow. Who has not? Also amazing. If you don't know, for those who don't know, Creative Mornings is a global organization. We have chapters in 200 cities around the world that gather on a Friday every month to eat breakfast, celebrate creativity, and just talk to cool people. It's a really special organization. We are united each month by a global theme that's chosen by one of our chapters, and this month our theme is mentor. It was chosen by our Glasgow chapter, and this beautiful picture was illustrated by Molly Hankinson. What is most special about this theme this month is that it is brought to you by our global partner, Adobe. Who in here has used an Adobe product before? Me? Yeah. Adobe is very special to us. If you are kind of how is Creative Mornings free? What is this thing? I don't know what this is. It's free because of our global partners like Adobe. They are champions of the creative community. They believe in Creative Mornings, and they make it so we can have experiences like this, like our virtual field trips and our clubs. So we love Adobe, and we love Adobe even more because as part of an apprenticeship program that they've just started, they brought us our amazing Finn Evans. We're obsessed with him. He is here to read our manifesto. So Finn, please come up on the stage and read the manifesto.
Hello, thank you all for joining us today. So this is our manifesto. It goes a little bit like this. Everyone is creative. A creative life requires bravery and action, honesty and hard work. We are here to support you, to celebrate with you, and encourage you to make things that you love. We believe in the power of community. We believe in giving a damn. We believe in face-to-face connections, in learning from others, in hugs and high fives. We bring together people who are driven by passion and purpose, confident that they will inspire one another, inspire change in our neighborhoods and cities around the world. So together, everybody, let's say it. 3, 2, 1. Everyone is welcome. Thank you.
All right. So as you can see from our friend on the stage, I'm going to give you this mic. We really do at Creative Mornings believe that everyone is creative, whether you're like a lawyer or a parent or going grocery shopping. Creativity and creative thinking happens in all of those moments. And to celebrate that, we are excited to use our special Harvest time clock. Harvest is another one of our partners. If you've seen, like you're eating a croissant, you have coffee, that is here because of Harvest, because they give us funding. You know, this is free, but it's only free because of places like that. So, you know, like we don't just get it out of thin air. So we would like to invite you
to think about, how is creativity showing up in your life? What is something you're currently working on that you feel inspired by? What's something that you're learning? We are giving you 3 minutes on the clock, 3 minutes on our Harvest time clock, to share with your neighbors and say hi. You can continue the conversation later, so if it gets really juicy and you want to connect with them, please feel free to mingle after.
And if you are an introvert and it's too early for you to talk, just give the signal that I give, which is just like, it's too early today. I genuinely mean it. You do not have to talk if you don't want to, and it's totally acceptable. Okay, 3 minutes. It might end up being 2 because we're tight on time. Turn to your neighbor. How does creativity show up in your life?
Okay, so we have 93 presenter. Each presenter is 90 seconds. And then don't worry about capturing their contact information. We're going to share it in the follow-up email. Okay.
12 seconds. 12 seconds. If you can hear me, raise your hand. If you can hear me, raise your hand. Make sure the neighbor next to you can hear me and raise their hand too. All right. Can we get a slow clap? Slow clap. Ready? Yeah. Slow clap. Faster. Okay, now make it fast. Okay, full clap. All right. Thank you so much. If you are still talking, we're going to ask you to take a moment, and you will get to meet your neighbor again later. We're going to keep moving because we have a tight timeline today. So before we dive into our projects, I want to just give another thank you to another one of our partners who helps make sure that you have breakfast and food, MPB. They are an amazing company. They allow us to buy, sell, and trade used camera gear. So can you raise your hand if did anybody just talk about photography? Yeah, okay. Has anybody wanted to go vintage and take pictures not on your phone and actually enjoy life? MPB is the place to go. Brianna has an example of a cool MPB camera. She's gonna take a pretend photo. If you wanna be like this, go to MPB. They're amazing. We're so grateful for them.
Is there anyone here from MPB?
There is. Maggie is here. Berta is also here presenting on stage. We've got some amazing humans. So let's dive in.
Okay, friends, it is time. Okay, we have 23 presenters. Each presenter has 90 seconds.
It's fast.
It's very fast. So we ask that you please hold your questions or desire to connect don't hold that inside, hold it outside. That desire to connect, once we'll share all their contact information in the follow-up email. So just holding.
In addition to those numbers, we also have 600 hands. What does that mean? It means that your participation is very important in this experience. Who made a sign? Who has a red bandana? Can you show us an example of what's going to happen? Okay, I need a little more enthusiasm than that. These people have come on stage. Look at these signs. We have 23 really brave presenters, and we're really excited to celebrate them. Imagine that you are presenting on stage for the first time. What do you want to be received with? That's the energy that we're going to bring for all 23 presenters, because they're all incredible. The last thing I'll say is we're just so grateful to these folks for coming on stage. This is a weird time in our world, and we find solace in this work that you all are doing and in the work that everyone here is doing. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And presenters, can you come up on stage? The way that we are going to work, let's get our first 5 up here, is big hands. We need that morning energy. If you need more coffee, you drink more coffee. Essentially, each presenter is going to present for 90 seconds. And when that 90 seconds is up, I am going to press this button, and you will see an applause GIF, whatever you call it. Can I get an example? Okay, I'm talking, I'm presenting, this happens. Yes. That applause is going to signal that the one person who's talking will come off the stage and the new person will come on. So you are both applauding the person who is leaving the stage and the person who is coming onto the stage. So just keep that applause going. If your hands get tired, get some water. Y'all are important here. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Are we ready?
We're ready.
Can we get a big? Okay,
we're ready.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. For you.
All right. Hi, y'all. I'm Anna Pierce, and in January, I started training for the Brooklyn Experience Half Marathon, which is a 13.1-mile race that goes from McCarran Park to Prospect Park through Brooklyn. And I was super intimidated by the training process, but I was determined to make it as joyful as possible. And the first step for me was to find a calendar to track my workouts. But the options I was finding didn't really meet my desired level of whimsy or joy, so I decided to make my own. At the beginning of every month, I would sit down with my Bristol board sheet and a growing collection of magazines and ephemera, and I would collage a calendar. I had no preconceived idea of what these collages would end up being, but rather I tried to channel the feelings I wanted to feel at the end of the month of training and let those feelings and emotions guide my decisions. I would then write down the month of workouts and reward myself with a sticker after every time I completed one. And trust me, giving yourself a sticker after running 10 miles can do a lot. And what started out as a very practical tool has now become a joyful meditation on what is possible when you're determined and you have a little bit of joy to look forward to. I'm a half marathon finisher, and the practice of collaging a calendar still continues. So.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eric, and I want to say the cherry blossoms are a sight to see at the Brooklyn Botanical Garden every year. Thousands of people will go and take a look and plan their trip to go. And when you want to go, maybe you'll go onto the the garden's website and take a look and see this map that they have and see which ones that you want to go. And every day it changes, the gardeners will go and take a look at the trees and update this map. Now, I'm a data person, and so I like to see trends and patterns over time and visualize data in different ways. So when I go to the website, I wanted to see a log of all the different trees and how they've changed over time and the different blooming stages that they're at. Sadly, that does not exist. So as these cherry blossoms, change every season, the map also changes. So I decided to create that log myself. So every day during the season in April, I would go to the website, check on my little trees, record how they're doing, and I made this plot over here. And this shows the proportion of the trees and their different blooming statuses over time. And the funny thing that I found was that in the first week, one of the trees goes missing. This black arrow over here is missing. So enjoy it. Thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie. I went from having no experience making a film to diving in and deciding to make a short film about queer friendship and my experiences in under a year. So lesson one is to listen to your childhood self about creativity. We have me doing a short film, very embarrassingly, with my friends at age 10, probably. But as I was thinking about my life, I really realized that I did not care about promotions, and turning 30 made me go, this thing that I've always wanted to do as a kid, I'm going to really regret if I never get to do this, and now is such a good time. So just listening to my childhood self, decided to go out and really embed myself in the queer community and find people who also would be passionate about making this film. Now, that's really hard because there's so much imposter syndrome when you're doing something for the first time, and especially bringing in people who maybe know more than you. But I really decided to let some of that go and just find community to let myself be held, to lean on them and to let them lean on me. We ended up hiring a cast and crew of over 30 people, most of whom were queer and women identified, which is just really rare in the film industry. And then my third lesson is just about how creativity changes lives and changes us. So do your creative passions, decide to make something beautiful, and enjoy, sorry, it was too early. Enjoy creativity.
Hi, I'm Aaron. And one day I was really bored. I was texting my friend. I was like, why don't we just talk in haikus? So we started texting each other in haikus about what we were drinking, what was around us, what we were doing. And then I was like, wait, this is so interesting, the way that there's this additive and subtractive quality that poetry has with the way we were texting. So I made Haiku Chat Room, which essentially allows you to text people, but in haikus. And each line that you send is equivalent to a 575 syllable kind of a haiku. And you sort of take turns starting a haiku, ending a haiku, and creating many haikus in sort of like a chat room format. So I did this with friends from Singapore, from the US. Then I was like, wait, but what do I do with all these different haikus in the chat room? Because the moment you close the chat session, it disappears. So I created and curated a list of haikus from 10 different friends from US and Singapore. I was interested in the ways that people would respond to when I started a haiku with a certain word. I was really interested in the ways that different people would write or respond to different things when we were writing. And I curated a set of haikus that now lives in a book. And I wanted to end with a haiku from the book, which I also brought with me. So, simmering fog, whisk of tom yum goong, spicy. a mother's embrace. Thank you.
Who here has lost someone they love? The reality is, of course, we know that all of us will at some point. In the last few years, I lost 4 people that I love very much. And that inspired the book I'm working on now, which is an end-of-life cookbook called Exiting. Exiting chronicles the food and the culinary rituals at the bookend of our lives. Yes, it's a collection of recipes for the dying, but you'll also see illustrations, you'll read testimonials from death doulas, end-of-life nutritionists. There'll be testimonials and prose, like memoir-like prose. When I was in Los Angeles with the woman who took care of my sister and I, Magali Gonzalez, the nursing home staff informed me she had not eaten in days. Weeks, actually. I brought with me a chicken and rice porridge, and when I brought it to her lips, her downcast eyes widened, and she looked at me, she smiled and nodded. How can we dignify and reimagine the experience of feeding others at the end of their lives? Exiting is an invitation to speak more openly about death, not through a lens of fear, but one of tenderness, of care, of culture, and of course of taste. Ultimately, Exiting is a book about appetite, loss, transition, and the quiet power of cooking as a form of presence. Thank you so much.
That's beautiful. Hey everyone, good morning. I'm Jacqueline. Does anyone else look at screens all day for work like me? So in the past few years, I've been experiencing eye strain, and I really wanted to do eye stretches and other ways to combat this eye strain. And a way that I found was helping was doing like analog pencil and paper puzzles and puzzle books. And then because I also do illustration, I thought it'd be fun to start illustrating my own puzzles. So I started this series of puzzles called Letter Paths, where you search for the clues or the letters throughout this like weaving illustration that I would draw. And you you decode the answer. So it's been really fun to draw these, and I've done them for some local zines, and I made one for the Meatpacking District when they had a really beautiful exhibit with elephants last year, so that was printed, and I'm working on printing a book of these puzzles that have just fun solutions to them, and I'm trying out ways to make the puzzles harder. Or easier also, you know, a nice blend. But yeah, that's me and that's Letterpath, so thank you everyone.
Hello, hi everyone, Vino here. So before even naming this project, so I was just thinking myself, how do I bring the emotional presence to my photographs? So it happens when 2 things are aligned. One, when I'm out there, and when I just allow myself to soak in the little emotions around me. And that's how I took long walks, and I saw people like sitting and sharing stories, friends coming to support people, and then not to fix anybody, but just showing up. So that meant a lot. So there are 2 stories here. One is interpretation, which is mine, or yours too. And the one is a real story, which is theirs. So this mystery and curiosity of not knowing the real story actually just fuels my creativity to just take the next picture and then meet more people. So I just want to end up saying this. Adventure is always out there because I'm a great fan of the movie Up. So that's me. Thank you, guys.
Hi, I'm Ricardo, and boredom is the catalyst for my creativity. My muse in a way, and not in a tortured artist way, but what if I started doodling and suddenly there's a naked couple from Florida soaking up the sun kind of way. When I draw, it's just for me. I don't overthink it. I put pen to paper and let the chaos begin. Lines, shape, little strange faces. It's a free-for-all. I don't see the blank page as something to conquer. It's just a space that's begging to be filled with whatever nonsense bubbles up from my subconscious. And I usually throw on some music to get my brain wandering. And when I start drawing, I'll put on a show or a movie I've seen a dozen times and something I can zone out to and let the good stuff just sneak through. I also keep a running list of jokes, one-liners. This is very important. Anything I've thought of or overheard in case I want a rough starting point. And a few months ago, my sister gets told by some dumbass in passing to smile. And she was recounting the story to me, and she says, "Tell me to smile one more time, motherfucker." That line sparked an idea, and I combined it with a sketch, and voila. If I've learned anything, it's that boredom is sacred. Do not doom scroll. Don't try to make something perfect. Let your brain roam free like the buffalo, and that's where the magic is. And I'll leave you with the title of one of my latest pieces. Their destination unknown and of little concern, the frogs had discovered a newfound zest for life in flight. For you see, they weren't just frogs anymore. They had transcended life and had become art. Thank you. Get bored.
Good morning. My name is Leda, and I am an art therapy intern at this really wonderful place in Queens called the Living Museum. It's a museum open to the public for free, but it also serves as a community space for folks with mental illness to create art. And as staff, we are encouraged to have our own personal art practice. So I looked at my neglected photography background, and I brought my camera to work one day and noticed we have an abundance of chairs. So I made portraits of the chairs kind of every day ongoing. And it really fed my curiosity for art as inquiry, for qualitative and quantitative storytelling, and for my background in documentary photography, but kind of different. And so far, it's culminated in a poster that they're hanging up in the hospital to encourage folks to come to the museum. It says there's a seat for you at the Living Museum. But I do see it as an ongoing body of work that I can do anything with because I have hundreds of chairs. And, you know, nobody's telling me what to do with them. So I just wanted to share those. And yeah, those are my chairs.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Constance, and this is Justin. Justin, can you confirm that you are not a paid actor?
I'm not a paid actor at all.
Great, thank you, Justin. Justin, you and I are 2 years old, nonverbal, and you want to tell me that you love me. What do you do?
Give me a hug.
Round of applause for Justin, everybody! Thank you. Okay, so Justin is giving love and receiving love, and in this way, he's kind of embodying love as a 2-year-old, and he's not hyper-intellectualizing what love actually is. And so imagine us now as adults, and we're able to do this, but with different attributes or virtues in our lives, whether it be joy, peace, patience, kindness, self-control. And so what the Ministry of Movement is it's a dance practice meant to explore what different types of movement are and how those can be either uncovered in your life. And so I invite you to dance with me. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Justin P. Etienne. I'm a New York-based fashion designer, and at the end of high school, I gave up my basketball dreams to go to the Fashion Institute of Technology. I received my bachelor's degree in production management, and I learned how to sew without taking any sewing classes. So for me, I always looked at fashion design as a sense of peace, and I used to watch my grandmother sew when I was a kid, and I always looked at it as a sense of alchemy. So fast forwarding, I always felt like it's not just about style and fashion, it's about having peace of mind in your life. And I just wanted to create a sewing workshop series for kids, and I've done 4 classes so far. The last class I've done was for adults at Chelsea Piers, and I'm just really thankful to be able to pass my knowledge and experience on to the world, so I'm gonna continue doing that as well too. And that's my story. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, hello everybody. This is Yarma. This is my creative brain on a page. It's yarn and grandma in one word, if you were to combine it actually. And I did not come up with the name, my friend did. But Yarma has been an ode to my grandmother, because similarly, actually, to his story, my grandma was the one to introduce me to crocheting in Lithuania. And I was 5 years old when I first picked up a crochet hook. And apparently I was able to finish my grandma's project somehow, even though I don't remember them, to be honest. But Yarma has been really a process of exploring what crochet can be and understanding that although my grandma did teach me how to crochet, it can actually be something different, even if I have a ton of imposter syndrome about it. But I think it's about exploring shapes. It's about also like seeing what is possible with it. So I really want to implement some yarn coutouring into potentially canvases and just different spaces. But I think we all have a lot of imposter syndrome if we are creative people whenever we're putting out our work out there. And I think it's really beautiful whenever we can overcome that, and maybe this is the story that can inspire you to do the same and not be afraid to put your work out there, even if it's super scary and you don't know how it's actually going to be received. But I think it's okay to just try and to not be afraid and to just, there's enough space for us all, and I think if there's the one thing that this project has taught me, it's definitely that. So this is my story. Cute.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abby, and I self-published a conversation card deck called Food Stories, and it's all about food. So some questions include, what kind of person are you at the grocery store? Or when you die, what do you want them to serve at your funeral? Or what has food taught you about love? So I'm not a trained illustrator or designer by any means. This project really started because I was stuck in a snowstorm in a cabin alone in my hometown, and I was very lost and very bored. And I really didn't know what direction my life was going in at that point. So I recently had purchased a refurbished iPad, and I bought a $10 Procreate app, and I just sat with YouTube and I started doodling. From there, many years later, Food Stories is now self-published with the help of many people, and I'll say my biggest takeaways are really, also, I had to let myself be really bored, and I had to let myself sit in the discomfort of not knowing and feeling really lost, and also following just the tiniest thread of curiosity. It wasn't a big aha shout-out moment. It was just, okay, I'm kind of curious about this thing, and I have a little bit of space to put one foot in front of the other and start somewhere. So thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Maggie, and that's me, the cute baby in the bottom left corner, and that's my grandmother, Janina. She has Lewy body dementia. For context, it's the same illness Robin Williams suffered from. It's actually the second most common form of dementia after Alzheimer's, but it's also one of the most misdiagnosed and misunderstood. That's why I've been working on a documentary about her, so people can learn a little bit more about someone I think is pretty great, and also learn about the progressive brain disorder. If we had known the shuffling walk, her loss of smell, the hallucinations, the memory loss, together with other symptoms equaled Lewy body, she could have been diagnosed and treated sooner. That's the hope behind this film, that if more people understand Lewy body, fewer families have to go through the pain and misdiagnosis of mistreatment. I'm telling her story using old home videos, photos, animation, and verite, and to show my nonna as a full person. Because to her, she's still all herself, a young mother one minute, a proud grandma the next, and suddenly a 3-year-old girl holding her dad's hand, posing for a family photo. I want to represent her that way, not just as someone changed by the disease, but the way she sees herself. I've been working on this on and off for years, but it's time to finish and share it. If you'd like to offer insight, encouragement, or just talk more, I'd love to connect. Thank you.
Oh, hello, my name is Dario, and I wanted to talk about, well, talking with drawings. It is going very fast, but the thing is that I usually go with images, trying to express my feelings, trying to express my ideas, and to share creativity. So how it turns into a mindset of going to like basic drawings or basic geometry, jump the wall somehow, and creating a conversation that can be like something interesting, like superheroes. Knowing the city, because I'm new here, and well, it's like admiring everything, admiring and how people think, how people like go creative, and well, it's just talking by itself. Television for me is very important, and of course the people I love. So just 90 seconds. It is like how the things can change, how things can be like updated with ideas, with sketches, and just 90 seconds. So yeah, it's like having a ride of creativity, and at the end, it is just a journey. Life is a journey made by your drawings. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Navriti, and I'm here to tell you about my recent work in cyanotypes. So cyan, it's not just blue, it's not turquoise, it's not lapis, and no, it's not even cerulean. It's cyan, and if you got that reference, come see me afterwards so that we can go to Prada. So cyanotype is a photographic method. It's sometimes also called sunprints. It uses light-sensitive chemicals, hand-drawn or printed negatives on transparencies, UV or actual sunlight exposure, and a water bath to reveal the final print in a cyan blue, which is this color between blue and green. And what you see on the screen here are all photos that I personally took. The really big ones are of some redwood trees from the Muir Woods, and that's a bench and a vase in my house. But beyond just color jokes, I think making art means a lot to me. I've been an artist for a decade or so and practicing mostly in printmaking techniques, and cyanotypes is one of these methods. And my desire to create really started and materialized when I started to value life experiences over screen experiences. And to flex my creative muscles, I just have to nurture my imagination, I have to use my hands and make something. And this project is an extension of that creative world. So thank you for taking a peek into it.
Hi, my name is Nicole, and I'm a professional knitter. I lived off my business for about 10 years from 2013, and I worked with emerging designers and established fashion powerhouses, film, TV, dance costumes, anyone who needed anything knit. In 2022, I was staring down the barrel of 40. I lived hand to mouth, no savings, no safety net, and I decided to leave the creative life and go corporate. And in a real, if you can't beat them, join a move, I took an office manager job at a tech company, and I assumed I would continue to live this like robust, creative personal life. And I was wrong. Corporate killed me, and I fell into 3 years of foulness. And then last year, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I lost a year to that. I'm fine, cancer-free. Thank you. And which brings me to today. I'm not presenting a current project because I don't have one, but I need to jumpstart my idle hands and reignite my practice. I forgot that I am fucking talented. And I'm happy to found the Creative Mornings community because you guys inspire me, and I'm excited to spend more time with you.
Hello, morning. My name is Desmond Du, and today I'm going to present about this keychains that I made that's inspired by the New York subway bullet. So each of these keychain here is handmade by my very own 3D printer. So, you know, it's just something I got into it like a few months ago, but the idea actually came from a 3D animation that I made last year, as you can see over there, right? And when I got a 3D printer 2 months ago, I thought, hey, why don't I revisit that project and make something, tangible, physical, right, that people can touch. I know, very original, right? And so that's what I did. And I printed this out, and everyone just lost their shit. No. But they loved it. They loved it, and they loved it so much. One of my friends loved it so much that he requested the other lines, and he wanted 10 of each, so that's what I did. And I didn't really want to kind of just put in a Ziploc bag, all the keychains and give it to him like a drug dealer. So I wanted a complete experience. So my partner and I, we designed this box over here, right? Which I also have it on stage, which is has all the keychain, and we gave it to him to have a complete experience. And giving out these keychains, you know, it was amazing because everyone loved it. They share a story about, you know, where they live, about like how they live on this train, going to work, or they once lived in New York. And, you know, it came to me that it's not just a keychain, it's a memory of the city, right? It's a piece of the city, a memory that you can carry with you. And yeah, thank you so much for listening.
Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Pfeiffer. I'm a mechanical engineer here at Newlab. And I'm inspired by the history of life on Earth and how nature is designed to survive. Many years ago, I saw a mosasaur skull at a nature center, and I really wanted one. But I knew I'd never find one, so I made one out of paper mache. And since then, I made a few other fossils. The oldest one is a Camarasaurus here, which is a giant orthoconch cephalopod that existed during the Ordovician period when life was just emerging onto land. Then the next one, the most recent one here, is an Onchopriestus rostrum, which is an ancient sawfish that died in the late Cretaceous. And then we have the mosasaur, which is right here, which is a giant marine reptile that died with the dinosaurs. And then more recently is a giant Irish elk, which had a massive rack and from the Pleistocene era, which only went extinct around 8,000 years ago. And so for me, seeing these creatures gives me perspective on deep time, scale, form, and function. Almost all species that have ever existed on Earth are extinct, but their design principles for survival persist. And this can be a guide for our human solutions. It's really special and important for us to understand the story of life on Earth and how we fit into it. And if you want to learn more, come find me. Thanks.
Hey all, I'm Cece Recht, and ooh, I have a sign. I'm a volunteer here. And then I just really wanted to talk about something that we haven't heard at all today, which is that we are sick of staring at screens all day, and we wanted to create something with our hands, something more tangible. So I started a pottery practice. Another thing that I have a problem with is failure and making mistakes. And so what I do is actually doodles directly onto the pottery. Because once you draw on it, you can't erase it. You just kind of have to accept it. So if I draw a wonky foot, it's going to stay a wonky foot. One problem, though, I'm having with pottery is that as I started doing it after many years, I was noticing I couldn't center a piece because I was feeling really stressed out. And so I actually had to step away from the practice for a couple of years, and I'm just getting back into it and creating these little anxiety monsters that you see. I'm just starting them. And I want to give them all different names and personalities and just say hello to my anxiety rather than hiding it away. And I would love to hear about other people's anxieties because isn't that fun to talk about? Thanks.
Hey everyone, I'm Margaret, and I'm a social media marketer turned game designer who made Trinkets, a sabotage-heavy card-based party game alongside 5 other studio mates. What started off as a normal online class spiraled as we accidentally created a game that our mentor called one of the strongest games that she's seen from a student team. It's the best and worst thing that you could hear, exciting because of the possibilities, but devastating because now there's a seemingly impossible creative goal post to reach. Also, did I mention that at this time I was just laid off? I thought I would be using my severance time to play games, not make games. But sometimes in life, you'll meet a character that hands you a hard-coded mission where there's no cheat codes available. You have to complete the mission. The mission for me was a year's worth of long nights staring at a game engine and having all my non-gamer friends tell me that I just had to read tomorrow, tomorrow, and tomorrow. Well, I still haven't finished the book, but Trinkets did release in April of this year after my team and I spent an additional 8 months outside of class perfecting it. It's a complete, mostly bug-free game that I ended up getting featured in AAPI and Gaming and Patch Magazine for. I'm so glad I said yes to the mission that my mentor set up for our team last year, and grateful for this opportunity to give a short talk about tech in 2025 that's not related to AI. And next time, when you're also handed a seemingly impossible creative mission that gets you excited, I hope you press play.
Good morning, my name is Brian Delatorre, and this is my family tree. With help from my cousin's research, I designed this a couple years ago for my grandma's family reunion. And as you can see, the Alonso family is a little grande. It took a little bit of math to figure out how to get 5 generations, 10 different families, and over 400 different names all on this tree. But somehow, I pulled it off, and I was even able to keep pretty close to 15-point type so my beloved grandmother could actually read it. And, you know, watching my family interact with this tree was an incredibly rewarding experience. I felt like I created a testament to the legacy of our family. But as I share it with you today, I think it's also a testament to the legacy of immigrants. At the center of this tree are my great-grandparents. They came to this country from Mexico in 1909. They wanted a better life for their family, and they planted this tree. And from this tree grew teachers, nurses, first responders, veterans from 4 different wars, artists, social workers, citizens not only living better lives, but serving in their unique and colorful ways. For me, this is what America is supposed to be all about. And as proud as I am of this work, thank you. As proud as I am of this work, I am even more proud that my name is on this tree, a descendant of Mexican immigrants. Thank you so much. Thank you for Creative Mornings.
Hi everyone, I'm Migi, composer, producer, and pianist from Japan, and I'm a survivor of this earthquake happened in Japan. So, yeah, it was a massive one, and it damaged across the country. And my dream was come to this country to pursue jazz. But then, interestingly, the scholarship from the Japanese government came to me the next year of this event. So I felt like I have stolen the money from the people in need. I didn't still carry the guilt. So I started interviewing other survivors for my own healing. But then I was surprised because everyone I talked to talked about life in the most positive way. And I thought I need to put it into music. And I did 20 interviews and I did 10 compositions. And I just played it together with 18 musicians and 3 actors. So I brought this short clip from the concert and that to show you. And next year is the 15th anniversary of the earthquakes. I am here to set myself to talk more about this story. So thank you for the opportunity. Enjoy the concert.
We wiped the tears from our eyes and pushed ourselves forward, one step at a time, or even half a step. I learned it's essential to embrace the process. After thousands of people helped us, we are saying, now it's our turn to spread love.
That's it. Thank you so much.
Wow. We just want to take a quick moment. Can we just take a moment of silence to recognize these artists who have shared with us and, just like really soak in what we experienced. Just take a moment, close your eyes if you want.
Bring back that deep belly breath.
And now let's give a big, can we match this energy? Round of applause.
And we could not have had this event without all of the incredible volunteers behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. So a big thank you to our NYC event team, Abby, Angelica, Brian, Brianna, Ella, Exa, Finn, Gina, Katie, Kevin, Lana, Leah, Lenny, Mary, Oriana, Cece, and Sue.
Woo! I just yelled into the mic. Sorry, y'all. Also to Nelson and Connie, who are doing our video and photo. They are incredible. Check out their websites. We'll send it in the follow-up email. Truly amazing volunteers. Matthew Chavez and Rosario over there in the live stream booth. Hi to our live stream friends, by the way. Hello, Mom. I hope you're watching. And that is all. I'm gonna leave us on this note. If our friends can cue up some music, please get to know each other. Say hi to the people that presented. We actually ended quite early, so hang out,
some more
have coffee.
coffee.
There's pastries. Go be creative.